In the ever-evolving landscape of contemporary music, few artists have left an indelible mark quite like Bruno Mars. With his captivating stage presence, unparalleled vocal range, and an uncanny ability to blend classic R&B, pop, and soul, Mars has risen to the pinnacle of the industry, captivating audiences around the world with his timeless hits and distinctive style. Born Peter Gene Hernandez in Honolulu, Hawaii, on October 8, 1985, Mars' journey to global stardom has been nothing short of remarkable. From his humble beginnings as a child performer in the vibrant music scene of the Hawaiian Islands to his meteoric rise to the top of the charts, his story is one of talent, determination, and a relentless pursuit of creative excellence. This comprehensive biography will delve into the formative years that shaped Mars' artistic sensibilities, his early struggles and breakthroughs in the music industry, and the series of critically acclaimed albums and world tours that have cemented his status as a true modern-day legend. Through in-depth interviews, archival materials, and a deep dive into the creative process behind his most iconic hits, we will uncover the multifaceted artist and the remarkable individual who has captivated the hearts and minds of music lovers worldwide. The story of Bruno Mars begins in the tropical paradise of Honolulu, where he was born to a family of musicians and entertainers. His father, Pete Hernandez, was a renowned percussionist, while his mother, Bernadette "Bernie" Hernandez, was a talented hula dancer. From an early age, young Peter was immersed in the vibrant music and performance culture of Hawaii, attending his parents' shows and even joining them on stage as a child. Growing up in Hawaii, music was just a part of everyday life, Mars recalls. My parents were always performing, and I would just sit there, mesmerized by the energy and the joy they brought to the stage. It was like a magic trick that I desperately wanted to learn. As he grew older, Mars' fascination with music only deepened. He began honing his skills as a singer, songwriter, and performer, drawing inspiration from the diverse musical influences that surrounded him. The rich tapestry of Hawaiian music, combined with his exposure to the timeless classics of Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, and Prince, would ultimately shape the unique sound that would come to define his artistry. Hawaii is such a melting pot of cultures, and that diversity was reflected in the music I grew up with, Mars explains. I'd listen to traditional Hawaiian chants, then switch to the latest pop hits, and everything in between. It was like a musical buffet, and I wanted to try it all. Mars' precocious talent quickly became evident. And by the age of 4, he was already performing on stage alongside his family. His early performances, which often featured impersonations of popular musicians, showcased a natural charisma and stage presence that foreshadowed his future success. From the moment he could walk, Peter was just drawn to the spotlight, his mother, Bernie, recalls. He would watch us rehearse and then jump in, mimicking every move and every note. We knew then that he had something special. As Mars entered his teenage years, his passion for music only intensified. He spent countless hours honing his songwriting skills, experimenting with different genres, and perfecting his distinctive vocal style. Despite the challenges of growing up in a small island community, Mars remained steadfast in his determination to turn his dreams into reality. Hawaii is an amazing place, but it can also be very insular, Mars reflects. I knew that if I wanted to make it in the music industry, I would have to take a leap of faith and venture out into the world. In 2003, at the age of 17, Mars made the bold decision to leave the comfort of his Hawaiian home and move to Los Angeles, California, in pursuit of his musical ambitions. Armed with a remarkable talent and an unwavering sense of purpose, he embarked on a journey that would test his resilience and shape the course of his future. The transition to life in the sprawling metropolis of Los Angeles was not an easy one. Mars found himself navigating a highly competitive and often cutthroat industry, where countless talented individuals were vying for their big break. Undeterred, he immersed himself in the local music scene, honing his skills as a live performer and networking with industry professionals. It was a rude awakening. To be honest, Mars admits, I had been a big fish in a small pond back in Hawaii, and suddenly I was just another face in the crowd. But I knew that if I wanted to make it, I had to be willing to work harder than everyone else. Despite the daunting challenges, Mars refused to be discouraged. He took on various odd jobs to make ends meet, all the while steadfastly pursuing his musical aspirations. By day, he would work as a Elvis Presley impersonator, captivating audiences with his uncanny ability to channel the King's signature moves and vocal stylings. I had to do whatever it took to pay the bills and keep the dream alive, Mars recalls. Impersonating Elvis was a way for me to showcase my talents and make a living, but it was always just a stepping stone to something bigger. In the evenings, Mars would spend countless hours honing his songwriting skills, collaborating with other aspiring artists, and constantly refining his unique sound. His unwavering dedication and tireless work ethic soon began to pay dividends, as he started to garner attention from industry insiders and secure his first songwriting and production credits. Even when the odds seemed stacked against me, I never lost sight of my goal, Mars says. I knew that if I could just get my foot in the door, I could prove myself. It was a matter of persistence and self-belief. As Mars continued to navigate the complexities of the music industry, his big break came in 2009 when he co-wrote the hit song, "Nothin' on You," for the rapper B.O.B. The track, which featured Mars on the chorus, was an instant success, soaring to the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart and earning widespread critical acclaim. That song was a game-changer for me, Mars reflects. It was the first time the world really got to hear my voice and my songwriting, and it opened so many doors that had been previously closed. The success of "Nothin' on You" propelled Mars into the spotlight, and he quickly became a sought-after collaborator among some of the industry's biggest names. He went on to co-write and produce hit songs for a diverse array of artists, including Brandy, Adam Levine, and Flo Rida, further honing his skills and building his reputation as a versatile and talented musician. Bruno just had this innate ability to understand what made a song great, says CeeLo Green, who collaborated with Mars on several projects. He could take an idea and turn it into a hit, seamlessly blending different genres and styles to create something truly unique. As Mars' profile continued to rise, he began to attract the attention of major record labels, who recognized the immense potential in his singular sound and captivating stage presence. In 2010, he signed with Atlantic Records, setting the stage for the launch of his solo career and the release of his debut album, Doo-Wops and Amp, Hooligans. With the backing of a major label and the momentum of his breakthrough success, Mars began the process of crafting his debut album, Doo-Wops and Amp, Hooligans. Drawing on his diverse musical influences and his innate talent for crafting infectious, feel-good anthems, he set out to create a project that would cement his place in the industry. I wanted to make an album that would capture the essence of who I am as an artist, Mars explains. I knew that I had to stay true to my roots, but also push myself creatively to create something that would resonate with a wide audience. The recording process for Doo-Wops and Amp, Hooligans was a whirlwind of creativity and collaboration, as Mars worked tirelessly with a team of talented producers and songwriters to bring his vision to life. From the infectious, doo-wop-inspired sound of the lead single, "Just the Way You Are," to the raw emotion of ballads like "Talking to the Moon." Each track on the album was meticulously crafted to showcase Mars' versatility and storytelling prowess. Bruno was just a ball of energy in the studio, recalls producer Philip Lawrence, who worked closely with Mars on the album. He would jump from the piano to the drums, belting out melodies and constantly pushing us to try new things. It was exhilarating to watch him bring these songs to life. One of the standout moments in the recording process came when Mars and his team stumbled upon the instrumental for what would become the album's breakout hit, "Grenade." Initially, the track had been written with a different artist in mind, but Mars immediately recognized its potential and set about crafting a lyrical narrative that would resonate with listeners. "The moment I heard that instrumental, I knew I had to make it mine," Mars recalls. The melody and the chord progressions just spoke to me, and I could see the whole song unfolding in my mind. It was one of those magical moments where everything just clicked. The release of Doo Wops and Amp, Hooligans in October 2010 was met with widespread critical acclaim, with reviewers praising Mars' seamless blending of classic and contemporary pop, R&B, and soul influences. The album's lead single, Just the Way You Are, became an instant smash, topping charts around the world and earning Mars his first Grammy nomination. With Doo Wops and Amp, Hooligans, Bruno proved that he was more than just a talented songwriter and producer, says music critic Nate Chinnan. He established himself as a true artistic force, a performer who could captivate audiences with his infectious energy and his ability to craft timeless, feel-good anthems. The success of the album propelled Mars into the global spotlight, setting the stage for his meteoric rise to superstardom and the launch of a career that would forever reshape the landscape of contemporary music. Following the overwhelming success of Doo Wops and Amp, Hooligans, Bruno Mars found himself at a crossroads. With the weight of newfound fame and the pressure to deliver an equally compelling follow-up, the young artist knew that he had to push the boundaries of his creativity and continue to evolve his sound. After the first album, I knew I couldn't just rest on my laurels, Mars explains. I had to dig deeper, to challenge myself and try new things. I wanted to show the world that I wasn't just a one-trick pony. In 2012, Mars began the process of crafting his second studio album, Unorthodox Jukebox. Drawing on an eclectic array of influences, from disco and funk to rock and reggae, he set out to create a project that would showcase the full breadth of his musical abilities. I really wanted to push myself and explore different genres and styles, Mars says. I didn't want to be pigeonholed or confined to a single sound. I wanted to create something that would surprise and delight my fans. The recording sessions for Unorthodox Jukebox were marked by a palpable sense of creative energy and experimentation. Mars worked closely with his trusted team of collaborators, including producers Philip Lawrence and Ari Levine, to craft a collection of songs that were as sonically diverse as they were lyrically compelling. Bruno was just fearless in the studio, Lawrence recalls. He would come in with these wild ideas, and we'd just run with them, pushing the boundaries of what a Bruno Mars song could be. It was exhilarating, and I think that sense of adventure really comes through in the final album. One of the standout tracks on Unorthodox Jukebox was the lead single, Locked Out of Heaven, a high-energy, rock-infused number that showcased Mars' remarkable vocal range and his ability to seamlessly blend genres. Locked Out of Heaven was a real turning point for me, Mars reflects. I wanted to create something that was instantly catchy and dance-worthy, but also had a bit of an edge to it. It was a way for me to show that I could rock out just as hard as I could croon a ballad. The album's release in December 2012 was met with widespread critical acclaim, with reviewers praising Mars' bold experimentation and his refusal to be confined by the constraints of a single genre. Locked Out of Heaven quickly became a global hit, cementing Mars' status as a true crossover superstar. With Unorthodox Jukebox, Bruno proved that he was more than just a purveyor of retro-inspired pop, says music critic Ann Powers. He demonstrated a level of artistic versatility and risk-taking that is rarely seen in today's music landscape. This album cemented his place as one of the most exciting and innovative artists of his generation. The success of the album, coupled with Mars' electrifying live performances, propelled him to new heights of fame and critical acclaim. He embarked on a world tour that captivated audiences around the globe, solidifying his reputation as one of the most dynamic and engaging performers in the industry. When you see Bruno Mars live, it's like stepping into a time machine, says longtime fan Sarah Johnson. He has this incredible ability to channel the energy and showmanship of the greats, while still putting his own unique spin on things. It's a truly mesmerizing experience. As Unorthodox Jukebox continued to rack up accolades, including multiple Grammy nominations, Mars found himself at the forefront of the contemporary music landscape, hailed as a true Renaissance man who had the rare ability to seamlessly blend the old and the new. With the success of his first 2 albums firmly established, Bruno Mars found himself at a pivotal moment in his career, poised to take the next step towards superstardom. Fueled by the creative momentum he had built in a deep well of artistic ambition, he set his sights on crafting a project that would cement his legacy as one of the defining artists of his generation. In 2016, Mars began the process of creating what would become his 3rd studio album, 24K Magic. Drawing on the infectious energy and retro-inspired sound that had become his hallmark, he set out to create a project that would not only captivate his existing fanbase but also introduce his music to a new, global audience. I wanted to make an album that would transport people, that would make them feel good from the moment they pressed play, Mars explains. I wanted to create something that was unapologetically fun, something that would make you want to get up and dance. The recording sessions for 24K Magic were marked by a palpable sense of joy and creative freedom, as Mars and his collaborators set out to craft a collection of songs that would push the boundaries of contemporary pop and R&B. Working on this album was just a pure adrenaline rush, recalls producer Brody Brown. Bruno was firing on all cylinders, coming up with these infectious melodies and grooves that just made you want to move. It was like being in the studio with a mad scientist, constantly experimenting and pushing the limits of what was possible. One of the standout tracks on the album was the title track, 24K Magic, a high-energy, disco-infused number that perfectly encapsulated Mars' signature sound. The song's irresistible hook and retro-inspired production quickly became a global phenomenon, topping charts around the world and earning Mars his 3rd Grammy for Record of the Year. 24K Magic was really the calling card for the entire album, Mars says. It set the tone and the energy that I wanted to capture, this sense of unapologetic fun and celebration that I think people were really craving. As the album's release in November 2016 drew near, the anticipation among fans and critics alike reached a fever pitch. When 24K Magic finally hit the airwaves, it was met with a rapturous response, with reviewers praising the album's infectious energy, Mars' vocal prowess, and the sheer sense of joy that permeated every track. With 24K Magic, Bruno Mars has crafted a masterpiece of contemporary pop that harks back to the golden age of disco and funk, wrote Rolling Stone's Rob Sheffield. It's an album that is simultaneously a celebration of the past and a bold step into the future, cementing Mars' status as one of the most exciting and versatile artists in the industry. The album's success was swift and decisive, with 24K Magic debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and spawning a series of hit singles, including That's What I Like and Versace on the Floor. Mars' accompanying world tour, which kicked off in 2017, was a triumph, with the singer captivating audiences around the globe with his electrifying stage presence and boundless charisma. The 24K Magic tour was a masterclass in showmanship, says longtime fan Chloe Watkins. Bruno just has this incredible ability to command a stage and connect with the audience on a visceral level. It was like watching a modern-day Fred Astaire or James Brown, a true icon in the making.